Today we're going to be talking about hitting crisp iron shots. At our golf schools and individual lessons, we get a lot of the members asking us about how do you put spin on the ball? Well, to answer your question, all I can say is hit the ball solid, and that will give you more spin. So I'm going to go about and show you several different ways to practice hitting the ball solidly, and by doing that we're going to be hitting the ball first, then the divot, instead of the divot and then the ball. So I'm sure you're all aware of that. One way to go about practicing it is to, in this case, I just drew a line. You can draw a line in the grass and do the same thing. For emphasis, I have this white line, and what I'm trying to do, I'm going to be taking several practice swings, short swings, and trying to imagine the ball on the line itself, and I'm trying to picture the divot starting in front of the line. So I'm going to take a few practice swings to get just familiar with the feel, one after another, and you'll see this is a great aid. I can now see if the ball was on the line, my divots were in front. Therefore, the bottom of the arc was at the middle of the divot itself. And you can see here, the bottom of the arc is right in front of the line. Same thing here, it's in front of the line. Of course, we all know if we hit behind the line and then the ball, we're going to have some problems. And of course, we don't want that. So after you've done that a few times, you can get a feel for it. Now, what are you trying to think of? Mechanically speaking, that's just a feel. What can you do mechanically at the range to get a feel for hitting the ball first? Well, what I like to do is think of two thoughts when I'm hitting balls. I start out with a wedge, hitting some short shots, and what I'm trying to do is to basically feel my arm and club making the letter L. L. And then when I swing through, I'm trying to make sure that my wrists aren't cuppy or flippy. I want to feel a bow. So my wrists are bowed or flat, and I'm not cuppy or cuppy, because that's what causes you to hit fat shots. It also causes those shots that are so thin that we scull and go way over the green. A lot of times we might even be in Mrs. McGillicuddy's rose garden, and we certainly don't want that. So what I'm trying to think of as I practice here at the range is the letter L and then bow. That will help me to hit the ball first and not flip my wrist. It actually will give me that delayed hit that we all hear about. So we want to feel L, bow. L, bow. Let me hit a few shots. And that's what I want to do when I come out here. I want to feel myself taking it back, feeling the letter L, and then bow. If you notice here, I'm not flipping. So I'm holding on to it. L, bow. And you'll see, in this case, I was able to hit the ball first and get very solid contact with the ball, and then the divot. What are some other things you can check? If you were to come for a lesson and we try to look and see what you're doing individually, we're looking also to see if you're staying centered. What I like to do, especially with a short iron, or let's say even a mid iron, I'm going to set up with just a hair, about 55% of my weight on my left foot, because that's important. When I lean left, I'm exaggerating of course, this position here will automatically allow the club to go up more abruptly and down. We want that. Too many golfers with their irons go back and they sway. and they get off their left side and they're not centered. And once you sway, you're in a position on your right side to flip and hit up on the ball. And of course, you're going to be sculling it. And of course, that's the last thing that we want to do. So we'll want to set up with a little more weight on my left foot. I've got the ball about in the middle of my stance. And I'm going to think of the letter L, and then I'm thinking bow. L, bow. In this case again, I was able to hit the ball first because I didn't sway off the ball. I'm staying centered. My head is still, and that's so important. Head still, L, and bow. It's going to allow you to stay bowed. If you want more distance, of course, I can then turn more, but I'm still going to stay centered over the ball. Come out to the range and practice it, and I think you're going to start hitting your irons with much better contact and putting more spin on the ball.